One, a two, a one, two, Hey everyone, welcome back to Music with Ryan. For this week's feature lesson, we're going to check out the classic bluegrass and gospel standard, I Am a Pilgrim, in the key of G. And as you just saw and heard, I did two arrangements for it. The first one being very basic, straight ahead, Carter style. We're going to learn to play the melody, right? And then the second time through, we're going to get more expressive and certainly get more bluesy and get, again, kind of that bluesy bluegrass guitar sound you might often hear when someone takes a solo on this tune. As always, if you want to access the full-length lesson, both arrangements, download the tabs and the audio tracks with it. Click the link in the description to learn how. Also, be sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you know when new lessons come out. Let's go ahead and dive into that first arrangement. So let's go ahead and put those first few measures up on the screen here. And we have a rest on beat 1, and then we have a pickup again, starting on beat 2. So here's what the first few sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Fairly simple and straight ahead there, following that melody real close like. One more time. 3, 4, 1. So in measure 1, we have a pickup on beat 2. It is 2 eighth notes on the D string there. And then 2nd fret D, and then open G. Also, a reminder that we're going to be swinging the eighth notes, right? This tune is kind of slower and a little bluesier, so we're going to, again, swing those eighth notes. Also, make note that in measure 2, it says D chord, right? The first chord of the progression. The song is in the key of G. However, everything starts, or the progression essentially starts on the 5 chord, on the D chord. So again, in the key of G, but we're starting on the 5 or the D chord. So, and then in measure 2, we go to a D chord. We can finger that D, and I'm going to play the 2nd fret of the G. It's an A note there. And then we strum, and then D string, or G string again, and strum. And if you hit the high E as well, I'm fingering regular old D chord here. And if you hit that high E, that's all right. I have marked just the middle 3 strings there, the D, G, and the B. So yeah. Measure 3, open D, strum. Then I'm going to come out of that D shape. I'm going to slide up to the 4th fret on the G with the 2nd finger. And then go back down to 2. So just quarter notes there. And then measure 4, we're going to play an open G note on a G chord. Strum that G, play the open G again. Again, very basic, kind of that Carter style way of playing the melody notes within the chords so that you can accompany yourself. Here's what those first 4 sound like in context. 3, 4, 1. Faster it needs to be. It can be a little quicker, of course, but this tune can be played kind of almost like a ballad or again, bluesy, slow tune. So moving forward here, the next 4 measures, they sound like this: 3, 4. So measure 5, we're still on the G chord. We're going to play the bass note there, the G note of the chord, and then strum it. And then we're going to slide up to 4 again on the G string with the 2nd finger. And then down to 2. Then measure 6, we're going to go to the C chord, but play the open G note. And then I'm just going to strum through this measure right here. Okay, so the open G is the only melody note, and then I'm just going to strum to fill it in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You notice there's a tie in there, so that strumming pattern is down, down, up, down, up. And I was counting the fretted, I'm sorry, I was counting the single note I was plucking as well. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay? Measure 7, we're going to do just all quarter notes here. Very easy. Open G, D string, 2nd fret 2 times. Back to open G. And the next measure, we go back to the G chord, but the melody is on the D note. The 5, right? Of within the key of G. So D note, then we strum a G chord. And then we're going to do a pretty simple G run here. 1, 2 slide on the A. 0, 2 hammer on the D. And then the next measure will be an open G, of course. Not on the screen currently. Could slide or hammer. I hammered at that time on the A string. Either one works. Those 4 measures. Ready, go. Alright, moving forward here, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Again, we come from the G run. So measure 9, that open G is the end of the G run, right? So, and then we strum the G chord, then open D. Then a little pickup here. Well, the open D is essentially kind of the pickup into the second half, or the second phrase, whatever you want to think about it. But open D, then 2, 0 on the D. Measure 10, open G, strum, open G again. And then right here, we're going to do a little walk down to the 7th note of the key, the flatted 7, which is F, which is right here. Okay, and it kind of chromatically walk down. So open G, and then we're gonna do open G again, and then bounce it off the 4th fret of the D, which sounds pretty dissonant when out of context. And then we go to measure 11, 3rd fret on the D. That's an F note. And as you see there, G7 is the chord written above it. Let me play into that. I use my 3rd finger to guide me there. And then I'm gonna play 3rd fret on the B string. I'm gonna have to use my pinky here. So 3 times, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 12. We're gonna do 3, 1. And you notice 8th notes there. We're gonna carry the D note into the C chord for a second, and then go to the C note, the melody. 1 and 2, 3. As you notice, it's tied over to a half note, so 2 counts there. And yeah, 1 and 2, 3, and then 3rd fret on the D. I'm sorry, on the B string, which is a D note. 2 more 8th notes there. 2, 3. All 4 of those. 2, 3. right, then let's finish it out here. Last 4. Okay, so measure 13, I'm still on this, technically on the C chord there. And I'm gonna play the 3rd fret on the G string, which is a B flat note. So this is B flat, this is the 7th of C. Or you can think about it as the flatted 3 of G, okay? And we'll explore using that more in the second arrangement for sure, where we get bluesy. And then it's 2-0 on the G, carried over for a quarter note there, and then 0-2 on the G. That measure exactly is 1, 2, and 3, 4, and next measure I'm gonna slide up to the 4th fret on the G, and then I'm gonna make this shape right here. This is a G chord, often referred to as an F shape, but G chord here, and I'm just gonna strum through it using that same strumming pattern as we did prior over the C chord, just on some different strings here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, up, down, up. Then I shoot back down to 2, slide up to 4, and then here's probably the trickiest, part of this arrangement. It's very basic, but a little bit of an 8th note run. So measure 15 exactly. 2nd fret, slide to 4, and then I'm gonna slide again to 4, go back down to 2, open, 2 on the D. The next measure, open G, 2 on the D, open D, 2 on the A, 1-0 slide on the A. Measure 17 will land on the 3rd fret of the low E. That's essentially the first arrangement there. Let me play all 4 of those in context for you now. So 2, ready, go. All right, so that's the whole arrangement, or the first arrangement, all the measures there. And the beginner, again, Carter style arrangement, and then I have an advanced version as well. And let's go ahead, I'm gonna play through the whole thing for you. You can see it all in context, see it all go by. So here's what it sounds like from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, there it is. And again, if you want to download the tabs, access the audio tracks, and the second arrangement, everything that's included, click the link in the description to learn how.